If you're a successful woman in your 40s, I'm pretty sure you're known for one thing. You are the reliable one. So, what does it mean to actually be the reliable one? It means that you are dependable. You can juggle multiple balls at the same time. People can always trust that you would always show up. You would always, of course, pay the bills. You would always, show up for your agenda. You always, there's a lot of things that word being dependable is. And I want you to check in with that. What does that actually mean for you? But also, I want to question you. I want to invite you to question yourself. What is being the reliable one actually costing you? Because a lot of us are not thinking about that. We have owned the identity of being the reliable one, but we're not thinking about the consequences of how that is actually affecting our bodies, especially if we are transitioning through perimenopause. But here's the question: what does being the reliable one actually cost us? That is a question that a lot of people don't actually ask themselves, because as successful women, I believe that being the reliable one costs us a lot, and it also has been something that we have linked our identity to. This video is for women in their 40s who are navigating perimenopause alongside visibility, responsibility, and expectation. So I'm not here to challenge you or to make you wrong. No, that's not what I'm here to do. But I want to give you the language so that you can start to put yourself on the priority list, because a lot of people don't even know how to say no. They've owned this identity of being the reliable one for years, for decades, that they really don't know how to actually ask to get their needs met, to make changes in their business, in their relationship with their family. They don't know what to do. So I'm here to give you the language to empower you to be able to prioritize yourself and put yourself on the list. Because as I said earlier, if you don't put yourself on the list, no one else is going to do that, and you're going to run yourself down. So how does the identity of being the reliable one get formed? I actually don't feel like it got formed by us choosing to be it. I feel like it was assigned to us. Maybe when you were growing up as a little kid, you had to take care of yourself. You're the one that took care of the little one. You're the one that took care of your parent. You were the one that made sure that everyone is taking care of the house. That could also be a time when you had that identity put on you. Maybe you had to grow up quite quick. Maybe you had to perform to be able to get love from your parents or from someone, a boyfriend or boss as well. Maybe people were able to depend on you. Maybe they were able to emotionally dump on you and they trust that you always keep their secret. Maybe you weren't able to, you had the emotional capacity to, to hold things together even when things were crumbling around you as well. Maybe you were able to have people depend on you, were able to show up for everyone. You were able to, figure things out by yourself. You were able to perform for love. There's lots of reasons why we have this identity. So I want to ask you to question yourself, check in within and ask yourself, how did I get this identity of being reliable? Because I feel like when we go deeper into our stories, into our past, we realize how this was identity or form was formed, and then we can question it, because the more we question it, the more we can let go of this identity of being reliable and start to put ourselves on the priority list. Because if we don't do it, as I said earlier, no one is going to do it for us. So before we can let go of that identity of being the reliable one, I would also invite you to check in. How has being the reliable one supported you? Because a lot of us hold on to this identity for so long because there's a reason. It has kept us safe. It has propelled our career. It has helped us build a reputation. It has secured us. It helped us to grow. It helped us to, let me see, what else? What else? It helped us to grow. There's so many reasons why we hold on to the identity. Some of us feel like it helps us have a role. It helped us become somebody that matters. It helps us get love. It helps us get approved. It helps us. There's so many reasons why we hold on to that identity of being the reliable one. So it's important that you dive deep into that. Check what that means for you, because these things, this identity of being reliable, I always say there's a reason why we have to be grateful for one things that we do. I'm not talking about bad things, but there's reasons why we have to be grateful for some particular thing. And if we are grateful for it, then it'll be a lot easier for us to let go. Because when we do a deeper work around a specific topic, it'll be a lot easier for us to let go. But if we're just trying to force it out, I think it's very dangerous for the nervous system, and things will start to unravel around us. So what has being the reliable one done for you? So I want to invite you to drop into that and journal on that, you know, think about it and see what you're grateful about that identity. And this is what starts to happen over time. You start to feel a little bit resentful. You want people to read your mind. You want people to support you. You want people to see you, but they're not giving that to you. You feel like maybe they should understand that you need them, but then they still believe that you've got it all together. And when you start to feel resentful, that's when you can start to have your cortisol levels start to rise up. And you know what that's like? It's going to start to impact the other hormones that you're feeling at the body level. And then you start to create disease. So here's a reframe. Being reliable doesn't mean that you are endlessly available, but it means that you are in integrity to what you promise to do. A lot of successful women in their 40s, they actually infuse being reliable with over responsibility. They're the ones that quench fires in their company. They're the ones that anticipate problems before anything falls apart. They're the ones that take control. They're really, really control when it comes to their business. They're not allowing themselves to be supported. Reliability starts to become, I cannot trust anyone. I can handle everything. I need to know what's happening in my company. It starts to merge with competency, performance, leadership. It starts to people start to merge their worth with being reliable. You can be reliable without being reachable all the time. You can be reliable without being on call all the time. You can be reliable without having to handle everyone's emotion. And being overly reliable means that you trust yourself to be the only one that can hold it all together. But I would say being reliable means that you know what you can handle and you know what you can outsource and have someone else to support you on. So it's a cultural conditioning to assume that as women in leadership, we can handle everything. And as a successful woman in your 40s, going through perimenopause, your body is responding with no. It can't handle anything. It can't handle everything. Our system is not built that way. So I want to invite you to really question the idea of I can handle everything. I am reliable. I can do everything. And take that cap off and say, no, I will seek out the help. I will ask for the help. I will allow myself to be supported and allow yourself to receive that, because that's a tool that I want you to learn to do. Because in our 40s, something shifts. The tolerance for depletion drops. Your nervous system starts to alarm that you need to stop, and your body starts to disagree with misalignment, because being the reliable one starts to feel unsustainable. And this is when a lot of my clients start to say, I can't recognize myself. So it's not because they're not who they are, it's just because the mask of being the reliable one is finally off. So here are 4 action steps to take today to reclaim your edge without the burnout. Number 1, name the role out loud. You need to give it space for it to give a new meaning, because a lot of us have owned this idea of what it means to be the reliable one. We've taken it on as an identity. We've made it an essence of who we are, but it's actually a role, not who we are. And the earlier we separate it, the better it is. Because a lot of us, we hold on to this idea or this whole essence or the identity of this is who we are. And we feel like if we don't show up as it, we're going to let a lot of people down. And we have this idea that we don't want to let anyone down. So we keep on owning that role. But when we give it space and look at it as it is, that it is a role that I play, it's negotiable. I can change it. I can choose a new role, whatever it is. But when we leave it as an identity, an essence, I feel like we feel like you can't change it. It's non-negotiable. It's something that you just want to hold on to. So naming it allows us to have a dialogue with this new identity and choose an identity that feels empowered. An identity that allows us to move forward, allows us to receive, allows us to get support, and allows us to thrive in the most nourishing way possible. And when you allow yourself to have the space to dissect or challenge the idea of being the reliable one, you allow yourself to step back from, being overly responsible to discernment. You allow yourself to, work with the idea of juggling multiple balls at the same time, to choosing that I get to choose the ball that I can handle. You allow yourself to know that you are not irresponsible, but you are mature, you are discerning, you are choosing, and you are empowered. 2, audit where reliability has become overreached. Have a 6-figure owner. There's a way that you're supposed to be operating your business compared to somebody that has a 5-figure owner business. So people that are in their 6-figure business shouldn't be running the operational part of their business. They should be running the growth part of their business. But a lot of people are becoming so I can handle it all. They're the one that is running the operational business because they don't trust their team. They're, reworking the work that they've already outsourced to their team when they're supposed to just trust and hire the right people to support them. Sometimes as a six-figure bigger owner, we're allowing access to us from our client without a process. We're not allowing ourselves to have a process that allows us to take care of our energy. A lot of us feel that it's reliable for us to be on call for our clients all the time. And that's not a good way to operate. Some of us feel, even our team feel like they can access us all the time. They feel like, oh, you're always available. You're always on WhatsApp. You're always on team. That's why I'm messaging you, instead of them to check in and see, is this the best time for us to call you right now? So what are you doing to change the way you operate in your business? So where have you handled all aspects of your business, all operational parts of your business or of your life, and you're not allowing yourself to be supported? You're not allowing yourself to hire the right support, to allow yourself to trust that. Where are you quenching the fire in your business? Where are you the one that everybody can come to be able to fix things in their business? Why is it that you are the only one that people trust to be able to handle stakeholders, to be able to handle client mistakes, to be able to handle problems with the operating system? Why is it that you are the one that is handling it? So I want you to audit where you've been overly reliable in your business, and allow yourself to outsource this aspect so that you can progress exponentially in your business. Redefine what it means to be reliable. You need to redefine what it means to be reliable in your 40s, because it's different from when you are 30s to when you're 40. And it's also different to having a 5-figure business to being a 6-figure earner. It's so different. So be clear on your boundaries. So important that you know what you allow in and you know what you allow out. So be clear with your time, be clear with your surrounding, be clear around other people that you reconnect with or you speak to, be clear around the activities that you have in your business. Only engage in high rewarding activities. Quality over quantity. You can't be putting off all the fires in your business. That's not your job. You're supposed to handle only the tasks that would allow you to have a successful business, that will allow you to expand financially, that allows you to progress and grow in whatever it is that you want to do. Another thing that you need to be able to do is you need to lead successfully, powerfully, without rescuing. Know how to do that. The fourth one that I would say that you need to do is you need to put yourself on the list. You need to put yourself on the list. So instead of you being reliable for other one, you need to be conscious about the things that you are doing to take care of your health so that you can thrive and live the unshakable life that you've always wanted to live. So when something that used to feel manageable now start to feel heavier, the reflex is to push back. So here's the reframe that I want to give you. So when something starts to feel a little bit difficult or a little bit heavier in your process, I want to invite you to start to think about it as, maybe my structure need to be updated, because discomfort is information. There's always something to learn when you start to feel discomfort at the body level. Discomfort often shows up as maybe the role you used to sit on before, you've outgrown it. Maybe the system that used to depend on you now needs to be, restructured. Maybe the success strategy that you had before, you've actually expired. Or maybe also you feel like the capacity that you used to have for everything before, you actually don't have the capacity for. That's when the signal of discomfort starts to arise. And this is the time for you to actually listen, especially if you run a successful business. This is the time for you to listen and restructure things around your nervous system. So no amount of mindset work, embodiment, resilient work that you can do can overly compensate for lack of boundaries or unclear boundaries, or system that doesn't work for you, or lack of delegation, or lack of system, or lack of asking for support. Because when you don't have structure, your body is what's going to whisper out loud that you are going to burn out, that you're going to lose everything. And when you start to have that, you're going to start to have a fear and anxiety around the things you've actually allowed yourself to create. So when heaviness shows up, I'd like to invite you to pause a bit and ask yourself, what does this part of me need? Instead of you making it wrong and say, why can't I handle all things? Ask yourself, what does it need right now? Maybe you need system, maybe you need to delegate things, maybe you need to restructure things, maybe you need to reanalyze things. Ask yourself this question, because when you ask yourself that question, it literally transforms the way you work in your business or work in your life. It allows you to see where the bottleneck is. And when you release that bottleneck, you start to feel a little bit more freer. And when you feel freer, you start to feel good. Maybe it wants you to, to look at what the bottleneck is in your life, in your business, so that you can loosen that part out, so that you can allow yourself to breathe and there's more flow. Maybe it's even ask you to check in with yourself. What part of you may be in the reliable one so acceptable? So here are my final words. You don't have to abandon your body to feel sustainable. You're allowed to let your success be more elegant, not heavier. This video has given you clear language around something that you've been secretly carrying on your own. Then I'd like to invite you to subscribe, especially if it has allowed you to have a little bit more compassion for yourself, because being the reliable one can be really, really heavy, especially if you've made it an identity that we've been carrying on for years and grown our reputation on. I create daily clear grounded videos for high achieving women navigating perimenopause alongside their identity, their leadership, and their income. And also for anyone that wants to protect their clarity and confidence and income potential. So these are great videos that I create on a frequent basis. So I want you to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.